welcome to Blightborn, where a zombie outbreak threatens your world and all I can think of is smash! In this demo, you must find a way out of the facility you're both trapped in and try to find a cure for all that, but let's be honest, there ain't no curing him of those juicy lips. But anyway, here are your content warnings, now please enjoy yourselves. The Blight started as a hope, a breakthrough designed to terraform dead lands, restore lost harvests, and save humanity from itself. But something went wrong. It spread. It changed everything. Ugh! The Blight evolved beyond control, infecting humans and forcing their bodies into rapid adaptation. Their minds shattered, their bodies transformed. The infected started to attack and consume human flesh. They became predators, driven by instinct to spread the blight. You were just an intern when it began, a nameless cog in a bioresearch team. Then the world started to rot, and the weight of its salvation fell onto your shoulders. Since then, you've dedicated yourself to studying its development, trying to undo what the industry had unleashed. Then, the accidents began. Just a harmless prank, you thought. Now it's clear. You were close. Too close for your own good. They wanted you silenced. Of course. The dim light blinds you as you try to open your eyes, a sharp ringing in your ears. Your body is heavy, your limbs sluggish. I was in the lab and then... my head. A dull, throbbing pain spreads through your skull as you push yourself up. The ground beneath you feels cold and dusty. Your vision slowly adjusts. You're standing in a corridor. No windows. No sunlight. Flickering lights overhead cast erratic shadows. The air is damp, thick with the scent of chemicals, rot and something metallic. This place. An underground facility. You try to take a step forward, but your knees almost buckle. You brace against the wall, fingers splayed against the cold surface, and then your hand meets something wet. A sticky fluid coats your palm. You freeze. Slowly, you lift your hand. Faint crimson smears your fingertips. Oh, it's crimson. Got it. I thought it was something else entirely. Ah! Yeah, this is a lot clearer to me. Blood. It seems fresh. Someone or something was here recently. I need to get out of here. You force your body to move, scanning your surroundings. The corridor stretches in two directions. There are no signs or labels to guide you. Think. There has to be a way out. A control room? If I find it, I can access the facility's layout. You steady yourself, inhaling deeply. As you walk through these halls, you notice streaks of dark stains continue along the walls and floor. Not just blood, but something else. Scratches, smudges, as if someone had dragged themselves or had been dragged through these halls. The corridor seems like a maze, but thanks to the tears and blood markings, you can navigate through these indistinguishable halls. Finally, after walking for what seems like hours, you find a corridor with doors. Many doors line the sides of this corridor. It seems to be the crossroads of this facility. You take a peek through the windows of the doors and catch a glimpse of the rooms within. And there are more doors, aren't there? The medical ward, the laboratory, the archive, the storage, a room full of test tubes. Test tubes? You scan the inside of the room from the windows. Once it's clear from any movement, you slowly open the door. Hello? Your eyes didn't trick you. Test tubes for humans. You look closer. People in the tubes are in different stages of blight infections. This abandoned place is a blight research facility, which means this place holds the equipment I need to create a cure. I can continue my development on a cure before I escape. If I scan the area and make sure it's safe, I can stay here for a while. Well, something has broken loose. Your eyes wander to a shattered tube. One of them seems fresh. You're feeling unwell, unsure if you can handle one of them barehanded. You have to stay on guard. The air is heavier, but you can't tell if it's because of your exhaustion or perhaps You're already losing your grip on your previously healthy mind. Sanity isn't that important at this stage of matters anyhow, so long as you remain functional. Functional and not infected. And finally, the last 2 doors. Blood covers the windows. You can't make out the inside of the rooms. Surely, one of them has to be the control room. Careful not to draw unwanted attention, you slowly open the door. Opening it a sliver, you pause and listen. You weren't expecting this. It's not silence, nor is it noise. It's breathing. Steady, calm breaths. Is it a survivor? Yes, I'm entering. You can't lock the door. Sooner or later, you'll have to face what's behind it. Better to scan the room now than having it jump on you later. At last you enter. Oh! Hot man! You freeze! Where are your clothes at? Oh, for goodness sake! Of all things, the last thing you would have expected to find is him, and unconscious to boot. With his immobility, you take your chance to satisfy your curiosity. You squat closer, examining his face first and then the rest of his body. Wounded? Limp on the ground, awkward position, black veins crisscrossing his body. He's clearly affected by the blight. However, you feel he's not your responsibility. You're on your own mission, and you don't even know what intentions he has. By helping him, you might be risking too much. As the human population continued to dwindle, it would be a pity to let him die here. What should I do? Help, of course. I have to find the stabilizer serum. It could temporarily hold back the symptoms. This could be a chance to test the lab's current antiviral on him. You tried to find a reason to justify saving him. Having made your decision, you made your way to the medical lab. Despite the crunching of broken glass beneath your feet, you don't slow down. If you're going to help, you might as well come back to someone who's still breathing. You see the familiar red air hoses hanging from the ceiling. You enter the lab and delicately sweep the cables away as you search for your serum. If any of these are still live, you're toast. Thankfully, that doesn't come to pass. It's safe to search. Violating several storage protocols, you finally find the stabilizer amongst a few other substances next to a cabinet. With this serum out in the open for who knows how long, you doubt that the serum is effective anymore, but I don't lose anything for trying. At worst, he'll turn into an uglier corpse. The side effects can't be worse than swelling and rashes, or at least that's what your manuals say. With the vial securely in hand, you push away the cables blocking your way out and head back. Once again, you keep up the pace, urgency magnifying the closer you get to the surgery room. You let out a sigh as you find he's there and breathing. I need to be cautious. You tie him up with whatever cables and rope you can find. Better than nothing. Not wanting to catch his disease, so you put on your gloves and gingerly position yourself next to his body. Take your time. You grab at his wrist, rolling it in your hands until you locate the main vein. There you are. Needle at the ready, you extract the serum from the vial and gently poke the needle in. The translucent liquid goes in as you press down, and soon it's all gone, fully injected. Time for some precautions. I should wait and see if anything happens. It's supposed to take effect in a couple of minutes, but it feels like ages as you stay there waiting for a reaction. Nothing. Maybe I should just leave? At that moment, you hear him take a deep breath, sucking in air like it's water. You turn your gaze back to his face, and you find a pair of eyes staring back at you. They're completely white irises, giving you an expression you can't read into. He jolts forward before you can even plan your escape, but then he stops right in front of you. Looking down at you, he stares for a while longer, and you don't dare move. Then he smiles? Scared of a man who was on death's doorstep a second ago? Is he serious? What are you? You tell me. Dangerous. You look stressed. No wonder your hair is all white. He did not just say that. I recommend that you stop saying anything further about my hair. I don't think you're in any capacity to call the shots around here. Look at his tone and physique. You really should be careful in how you interact with him. As much as you hate that fact, since you're definitely not stronger than him, you'll have to rely on your guile and wit to get out of here. I helped you, you know. You like to think I owe you. You do. He chuckles. Perhaps he's amused, insane, or just cruel. You hold back a flinch as he quickly lowers his face to your level. If that's the case, then I'll repay you, dear savior. Now, how should I go about doing that? You mentally sort through your options, but he's not someone to trust. Not fully, anyway. I need to get out of this place. He clicks his tongue. You're lost, and you need protection from other murderous beings. Not wanting to waste any more time, you nod. He then effortlessly breaks through the restraint you tied him in. So that didn't help at all. He smirks. You're lucky I didn't find you first. That doesn't sound promising. Let's just say it wasn't for you. But for the time being, consider yourself safe. He almost sounds like he's bluffing, but the glint in his eye tells you otherwise. You don't want him as your enemy. What is your name? Thought you let me tag along without ever asking. I am not rude. Call me Lycos. I would say nice to meet you, but saying such a thing is laughable given our current arrangement. Lion. Lion. I like that. Alright, that's enough chit-chat. Where are you heading? Control room? Now then. What? Why is this the last room? Without hesitation, but cautiously, you open the door. The room is dimly lit, the glow of flickering monitors casting erratic shadows across the walls. You skim through the control panels, scanning the screens until one feed catches your eye, a live camera feed showing what looks like an exit. Below it, a slot labeled Unlock Exit, the controls to the barrier separating you from the outside world. I need a keycard. You can feel your pulse quicken, but you force yourself to stay composed. Yeah? Obviously, you need a key to open the door. Oh, shut up! Somehow his smug attitude and complete lack of urgency makes it easier to breathe. You exhale sharply, shaking off the tension, and step back into the hall. Oh, so wear your goddamn pants! Laboratory. The lab has more chemicals than what I can ever hope to get at home. I don't have anything on hand right now. If I can find out more, then I can create the cure here. Oh, archive. I should be able to find some useful information here. Lycos scowls at the sight of the cabinet. Looks boring to me. Is there going to be anything useful here? Yeah, archives like this could tell us where to find things, or even if they've already developed a cure. It'll take a bit of reading, but if we do this together... Lycos lets out a yawn of displeasure, clearly not interested in this method of searching. Look, just start from the left if you want to look for anything. I'll be over here. Fine. Ignoring his boredom, you head over to the first cabinet. As you look through the cabinets, however, you notice a problem. Lycos. Yes? On your end, are the archive towers wet? Not wet now, but they were. He unceremoniously slaps a stack of tablets down on the table nearby. You hurry over and take a look. The tablets are all glitchy, a clear sign of water damage. I can't read any of these. There's a high possibility of sabotage. There's no water leaks in here, so someone deliberately soaked them. Humidity isn't enough to destroy something like this either. Keep looking. If you find any undamaged tablets, let me know. Sure. You do the same for a while, longer, and then a glint catches your attention at the top of a shelf, a small plastic folder. Taking it off the shelf, you open it. The face of Lycos greets you, labeled as Subject XLK-S31. Can't believe he was human at some point. You glance over to Lycos. Don't try to be sneaky. I can feel your gaze. You're standing standing there in, like, your birthday suit. How can I, like, not stare? He poses. Want to take a closer look? Maybe not here? I was looking over it for just a second. No. You turn your focus to the tablet in your hands, trying to read more about him and find details about his infections. His infection was documented. They deliberately infected him. Other sections are glitching. You can't make out the details. Yeah, I should try to fix this. This will prove useful to understand his attitude better. You slip the folder under your coat, but then something falls from it. You quickly bend down and pick it up. Your eyes widen as you inspect it. The master keycard. Hey, this is getting too boring, and I don't think it's of any use anyway. You turn to him, keycard in hand. Good news then. I found a keycard we can use. Thank God. Let's get out of here. Alright. Medical ward. The passages in the medical ward are wide, so Lycos and your movements through the space create soft echoes. The low buzz of the light helps mask them, but even so, you remain wary. The wrinkles between your eyebrows are extra deep. I am not that old! You don't look like one, that's for sure. Now, personality-wise, you don't face him, keeping your gaze forward as you scan the room. Anyway, my point is, you look really worried. I'm only... What am I doing? The day has worn me out a bit, and I hope these lights don't explode over our heads. Yeah, it'd be tragic for us to end up in the dark alone together. Lycos said that in a clearly sarcastic tone, but you chose to ignore it. Yes, attackers will most likely have an advantage if they strike in such a scenario. I can ward off enemies in the dark. I can see just fine, you know. Suddenly, heavy, fast steps thunder towards you. Something's coming! Let's go! You turn to run, but he doesn't follow you. Lycos, follow me! Without warning, he clamps his hand over your mouth and leans over your shoulder. Shut up and stay put. Keep listening for any more of these things. It doesn't matter if you want to resist his orders, because the moment he turns from you, a hollow breaks into the room. You want to cover your ears at the horrific shriek of the dark creature, but remember Lycos' order. The hollow throws itself onto him, clinging onto his arm as it tries to rip it off. With a sudden force, Lycos pushes back the hollow's other limb, clutching at its throat. A desperate scream rings as Lycos holds firm, applying more pressure. Slimy, dark red blood oozes from the organic matter of the neck as Lycos manages to crush its throat single-handedly. Mortally wounded, it jerks forward in an attempt to kill its attacker, using a shard of jagged metal protruding from its shoulder as a makeshift knife. Lycos yells. He hisses at the jab and leaves a long, narrow cut on his midsection. Unable to stay put any longer, you run to them. Stay back! You halt, biting your lips at the anger in his eyes as he gives you a single glance. I've got this! Come here, little fungus. Your eyes widen in horror as he grabs the hollow's head and bashes it against the wall. Once, twice, and thrice. By the time he's done, the hollow is a bloody pulp, the ground covered in gore and sinew. You can see some electronic components sticking out, presumably a cybernetic implant that belonged to the once human victim. It's all you can focus on. This thing was human at some point. That you can't deny. I feel sick. What a rush. With his assault finished, he turns to you. Strands of his hair stick out due to the attack, but what's more distracting is the flecks of blood and gore on his face and torso. His hands are coated in blood too, almost like paint. Hey, I've got an idea. Should we keep this thing's remains for you to experiment on? Throw it away from here, please. He rolls his eyes. As you wish. Killjoy. He tosses it to the side, the pulpy remains of the body landing with a loud splatter. As strange as it feels to have him return to your side with his hands covered in gore, you can't help but be thankful for his presence. Now that he's closer, you can get a better look at the wound on his abdomen. You could apply first aid, but it doesn't seem to be too bad of a cut. The fear of getting infected is pointless now. Either of you might be, and the only thing that offers a chance of survival besides escaping from here is the cure. What? Something on my face? Let's move. You dismiss his attempts at humor and head out. Right. Wait. Was I in storage? Where was I? Wait, I'm pretty sure there were more rooms. Were we at the lab? We went to the lab. Did we go to storage? I forgot we went to storage. Let's go to the storage. The smell of sanitized medical supplies pricks at your nose as you enter. There are some handy tools in here. Perhaps there is something else that you can find here. At least, that's what you hope. I'm looking for medical supplies. Something we can use to make an antivirus. Oh? What's that? Something to help with the blight. Uh-huh. Well, if you need something, I suppose I can take a break. A break from what? To your surprise, Lycos does his part to examine the different tools and ingredients scattered about. Then you notice him opening a vial of thimerosal. Do not touch that. Why not? It's a mercury-based compound. We need it for the antiviral. And if you expose it to the air, it might become contaminated. I need a clean sample if I'm going to make this successfully. Can't I touch it a little? No! You continue to search, with Lycos picking up items and bringing them to you with childlike glee. After what feels like an hour, you're about to give up when... Huh? Nestled deep inside one of the refrigerators, you find what you're looking for. Yes! Found it! That antiviral thing? Antiviral, and sort of. You show him the small jar, which contains a bluish-white substance. This compound should form the base for the antiviral. It's not complete yet, but if we didn't have this, it'd be a hell of a lot more difficult. So that means we're done here. He seems kind of sad that you managed to find your compound so quickly. Perhaps he enjoyed the break from hunting and hiding from creatures? Regardless, he leaves the storage room with you. Alright. Test tubes. You enter the room with all the tubes once more. You look at the shattered test tubes. Your gaze shifts to Lycos, who doesn't look particularly impressed. Did you... come from that thing? He hums an admission. I think I did. How did you manage to awaken? I'm not sure. I just did. This might be related to the loss of power. Testing your hypothesis, you examine a nearby machine. Putting your ear close, you hear the telltale hum of whirring parts underneath its surface. Not that. Eager to try sleeping in one of these too. I wish I could afford to sleep right now. You move to the controls, seeing which levers and buttons manages which test tube. So, in truth, you know how to use this. It's been a while, but the controls are the same. I need to run a scan. I am not getting back into that thing. Not you, just me, and you would run it. His lips are set in a thin line of concern. You could go wrong. It's actually quite simple. Look. You call him over, and he silently watches next to you. You press these first, then pull the lever. After my scan is done, it'll print out a paper from that slot. Understood? At his silence, you glance up at him. For a second, you think you see something soft in his eyes as you meet them, but it's gone as he nods. Understood. You open the tube and go in. You gulp as he closes the lid, knowing you have to trust that he won't leave you locked in or will meddle with the machine. He goes back and gets it working, and you close your eyes. The machine works its magic, performing a scan of your body. Before you can react, you feel the machine take a blood sample. The machine continues until finally, you can hear the printer finally working. Lycos is already opening the door for you to come out before you completely open your eyes. That was faster than I expected. He reaches out to grab your arm to help you out. You almost shove him away, but something tells you you could just let him. So you do. The hands that could break down concrete gently lead you out. Thank you. He only flashes a smile, and before you can do it, He takes the paper and hands it to you. I didn't even attempt to read it, so it's your turn to work your magic. Your eye scans the report, drinking in as much information as you can. Nothing strange until... Pure blood? Now that definitely sounds like witches stuff. Wow, what's with the wide eyes? I'm completely immune to the blight. He narrows his eyes in confusion, skeptical. The report says I have the blight in my body, but nothing's happened to me. I've got antibodies actively keeping it at bay, and any particles that are being introduced into my system aren't managing to do much before they're swallowed by my immune system. You're an anomaly. In a way, yeah. This is amazing news. My blood could be used to make a proper antiviral. I have to look at the details with more depth later. Yeah, you should. Who knows what other superpowers you might gain from this. If you don't at least get some kind of ability, I'd say you just got ripped off. You smile at his humor, and together, you go to the hallway. Surgery room. You decide to head back into the surgery room. Perhaps there's something you missed here. However, you quickly find out that your hunch was incorrect. Empty. Well, obviously, we were just here, and I was here long before that. You glance at him. What do you mean by that? Well, it clearly means I'm the only thing that was worthwhile in this room in the first place. You roll your eyes. Despite your unimpressed expression, he smirks. You look like you want to bite back with a snarky response. You scoff, still scanning the area in the vain hope that there's something worthwhile here. Your search, however, is hampered by your erstwhile companion's commentary. I don't think you're the shy type. Come on, say something. What a nonsensical person. Perhaps the blight has eroded some of his sanity, or perhaps he was always this unhinged? Strange. Suddenly bashful? Or are you enraptured by me? I simply do not engage in conversation with a man, if I can call you that, who makes us both waste our time. I don't think it's a waste of time. With such a pretty face on my side, how can it be? You raise an eyebrow at him, and he stares back, a sneer creeping up on his face. Wait, are you blushing? Before he can get a good look, you spin on your heels towards the exit. He is not that good looking. I am inclined to disagree. Without waiting for him, you leave the room. Well, that was a bit of flirting. Laboratory. Okay, anything here? Alright, I have all the components. This time for sure I can create the antiviral. You might want to sit back while I do this. Lyko shrugs, but leans against the closest wall. Despite your focus on reading the documents again, measuring and adding the substances in the correct amount and size, you can tell he's watching you. You poke a vein of yours and add the last needed drops to the antiviral. Finished. It's stable, so you think you can keep making it, so long as you have a clean space to make more. Control room. Well, we've got everything we need. You smile to yourself as you slide the master keycard into the slot. The machine accepts the keycard, and through the cameras, you can see the exit door lighting up. Now all you need is the master key to leave here. Lycos watches over your shoulder as you press the button. In the distance, you hear the rumble of machinery. Looks like the door's up. It is. We can leave at any time. The exit. With the exit open and the antiviral in your hands, you don't want to waste any more time here. Lycos. He raises his eyes to you. I'm gonna bring him with me. I have to go now. Oh. Yeah, but... Are you coming as well? His eyes lighten up at your question. You're asking me out? Well, we can get to that soon. I hope I can smash the hot monster man. Outside. He dismisses your correction, positioning himself right beside you as you walk out of the room. Let's go outside then. With him beside you, you calmly open the exit. Cold air hits your face, yet you can't be more glad about it. You escaped with Lycos and the crucial antiviral. You hope that this will ensure mankind's continued survival. And with Lycos at your side, perhaps the road ahead will be that much safer. And that's the end of the demo. Anyway, that was Blightborn. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And not gonna lie, like, some of the plot points kind of remind me of mycopsychosis. Like, specifically just the setting where, like, the world is infected by this strange fungus. Like, some of the things I wish I could see from this game would be, like, perhaps, like, more graphics, like more expressions from Lycos, and like perhaps like some sound effects to like help to actually help tell the story a little better. But this is still an early demo of the game, so hopefully we'll get some hopefully we'll actually get some improvements as development continues. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion signing off. Ciao.